looks like we've got a little spanner in the works here thrown in by the IBF in regards to an undisputed fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. The IBF have gone ahead and ordered that Oleksandr Usyk faces his mandatory challenger in El Animal, Filip Hrgovic. Filip Hrgovic is coming fresh off a robbery victory against a friend of the channel, Zile Big Bang Zhang, on the undercard of Usyk Joshua 2. According to Eddie Hearn, who co-promotes Filip Hrgovic alongside Wasserman Boxing, they've requested an immediate purse bid be held in regards to the Usyk Hrgovic fight. So they're cracking on with it, they're going full steam ahead. The only way we get an undisputed title fight next is if Hrgovic gets approached with some sort of step aside offer and he decides to take the deal and let Fury and Usyk go ahead and fight for undisputed, and then he gets to fight the winner. But according to Eddie Hearn, at this moment in time, Hrgovic is unwilling to step aside. He wants to fight for the world title, so he wants a shot at Oleksandr Usyk immediately, expeditiously. So looks like that's what we're gonna get next. We're gonna get Usyk Hrgovic before we can even think of some sort of undisputed title fight. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's check out a bit of what Eddie Hearn had to say.
I already spoke to some people involved in that fight who obviously quite upset that it's going to stop Fury Usyk for now, but at the same time, it's nothing to do with me. We represent Filip Hrgovic, and we don't represent Tyson Fury or Usyk at the moment, and we've got a job to do for Filip Hrgovic, which was, obviously he won the final eliminator, he's mandatory, the IBF have called that, we've said we're not willing to negotiate, this is a request of the team, and want to have immediate purse bids. That's within the rules of the IBF, and that means you cannot get an exception. So the only way you can get an exception is if Filip Hrgovic says he's willing to give an exception, and he doesn't want to give an exception because he wants to fight for the world title. So we'll see what happens, but the IBF are very good at enforcing their mandatories, and they've just followed their rules here, that's all.
So yeah, undisputed doesn't sound that promising for now, at least. Looks like we're definitely getting Hrgovic, Usyk. That's unless Usyk decides to drop a belt, and that wouldn't be undisputed then, would it? It's just going to be a unification fight between Tyson Fury, and then Hrgovic gets to fight somebody else for the vacant title. But I don't see Usyk doing that. I don't see him dropping the belt, because I do believe he wants to become undisputed at cruiserweight and then undisputed at heavyweight. So he's going to have to get Hrgovic out of the way and look at revisiting the Tyson Fury fight at some point, maybe mid to late next year, 2023, which is quite sad, but it is what it is. We're used to this kind of misfortune in boxing. We just have to roll with the punches, I guess. So yeah, bring on Hrgovic Usyk. It's not a bad fight. I am quite intrigued by this fight though, but I think from my perspective as a clear winner, I don't think Hrgovic stands a chance, especially after his poor performance against the Big Bang, which he was fortunate to escape with a victory. But like the old boxing adage, styles makes fights, so perhaps we'll get to see a more rejuvenated version of Filip Hrgovic against Usyk, because I wasn't quite sure who I was watching against the Big Bang. I went in the fight thinking Hrgovic was an overwhelming favourite. I just expected him to wipe the floor with the Big Bang, and by the end of round one, I switched teams. I was on Team Big Bang. But then again, that fight might have been a blessing in disguise for Filip Hrgovic, because he got a chance to fight against a southpaw and identify some potential issues he has facing off against southpaws before heading into a fight against a much better southpaw in Oleksandr Usyk. Before that Big Bang fight, though, a lot of people were high on Filip Hrgovic and they felt he was the next big thing in the heavyweight division, at least one of them. But after that performance, the hype has kind of died down. If you remember, he struggled to find an opponent to face him for that final eliminator bout before Big Bang took the opportunity. He had Luis Ortiz turn it down, Michael Hunter turned it down, Martin Bakole, a whole bunch of heavyweights turned out the opportunity to face off against Hrgovic because they felt it was low reward, high risk. Because prior to that Big Bang fight, he'd shown very little vulnerabilities, if any. He was just steamrolling through most of his opponents, but now the hype has died down. A lot of people have jumped off the train and he appears to look human. Let's see how this plays out though. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of twists and turns. I don't think it's going to be straightforward purse bid fight announced. I don't think it's going to go down like that. I'm guaranteed a bit of drama, especially with Tyson Fury involved, and it's going to be a few twists and turns. I'm sure there's going to be an attempt to offer Filip Hrgovic some sort of step aside money. I'm hoping so anyways, because I want to see the undisputed fight above all. But let's just see how this plays out. Watch this space. You guys leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this Usyk Hrgovic fight, the mandatory situation, Tyson Fury, Usyk, all of that. Leave all that in the comment section. Let's discuss. Let's have a chat. As usual, thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like the video if you like the video. Notification bell that turned on to know exactly what's going on up here. The Twitter !UK. I'm out.